Okay, you can slowly, mindfully come out of meditation and try to maintain whatever inner peace, inner calmness, inner mindfulness or awareness that you have developed for as long as you can. Stabilizing it is very important, and developing it into the daily mindfulness is also very important. Okay. Okay. Now we will get Manyan to continue. Page 170.
34th Heart Sutra class 1.1 Verse for opening a sutra. The unsurpassed, profound, and wonderful Dharma is difficult to encounter in hundreds of millions of eons. I now see and hear it, receive and uphold it, and I vow to fathom the Tathagata's true meaning. Reciting the above opening verse with great sincerity and faith is very important because it reminds us clearly of the following. Rare is birth as a human being. Rare is the opportunity of hearing the Dhamma. Dangerous is the delusion of mind, via the analogy of turtle's egg in the great ocean. In the Mahaparinibbana Sutta, the Buddha used the metaphor of a blind turtle in a vast ocean to explain how difficult it is to be reborn as a human being and at the same time to have the chance of hearing the Dhamma. Suppose there is a turtle egg floating on a vast ocean. The turtle egg has a hole the size of which is just slightly larger for the head of the turtle to pop into. There is a long live sea turtle in the ocean. Once every 100 years, this turtle comes out from the bottom of the ocean and pops his head into the ocean surface. And the probability of it hitting the hole of the turtle egg is the probability of being born as a human being and to hear the Buddha Dhamma, i.e., to be able to be born a human and having the chance to hear the Dhamma is just as hard as for the blind turtle to encounter the turtle's egg on a vast ocean and let its head go through the hole of this turtle egg. Therefore, do not be heedless anymore, so that you will not lose sight of this great opportunity of already having the special condition to be a human being and the great condition to hear the Dhamma. Yet, not taking it seriously to diligently cultivate to awaken to it is going to be a real waste. If one misses this window, it may be hundreds or millions of aeons later before one can have another such condition or opportunity. 1.2 What is heedfulness or apamada? Question 1. What is heedfulness or apamada? Pradyo replied, the importance of heedfulness is clearly expounded by the Buddha via his Dhammapada verses 21, 22, and 23. The Buddha said under Dhammapada verse 21, heedfulness is a path to the deathless, and the heedful never die, whereas heedlessness is the path to the death, and the heedless are as if dead. So do not be heedless, and do strive on with heedfulness always. Apamada is the silent mind in heedfulness, attentiveness, alertness, non-laxity, diligence, and vigilance to develop the meditation deliberate the mind. Apamada or heedfulness is the cornerstone of all skillful mental states, and it is of such importance that the Buddha stressed it is in his parting words or last exhortation. Transcend are all conditioned things and phenomena. Strive on with heedfulness. Apamadena sampadeda. 1.3 Apamada Sutta. Below is Apamada Sutta as translated by Tasisaro Bhikkhu. Apamada Sutta. As Savatthi, as he was sitting to one side, King Pasinadi of Kosala said to the Blessed One, is there, Lord, any one quality that keeps both kinds of benefits secure? Benefits in this life and benefits in lives to come. There is one quality, great King, that keeps both kinds of benefits secure. Benefits in this life and benefits in lives to come. But what Lord is that one quality? It is heedfulness, great King. Just as the footprints of all living beings with legs can be encompassed by the footprint of the elephant, and the elephant's footprint is declared to be supreme among them in terms of its great size, in the same way, heedfulness is the one quality that keeps both kinds of benefits secure, benefits in this life and benefits in lives to come. That is what the Blessed One said. Heaven said that the one well gone, the teacher said further. For one who desires long life, health, beauty, heaven, and noble birth, lavish delights one after another, the wise praise heedfulness in performing deeds of merits. When heedful and wise, you achieve both kinds of benefit, benefits in this life and benefits in lives to come. By breaking through to your benefits, you are called enlightened, wise. To be mindful or in sati is to be in state of relaxed inner awareness or attentiveness without thought. To be heedful is to be aware or mindful before the knowing, to understand the truth or to see things as they are. When the mind is silent, mindful and attentive without thought, then it is in sati. The silent mind with inner awareness to cultivate the Buddha Dharma, thus developing the wisdom or panya, is heedfulness. The opposite of heedfulness is heedlessness, and when one is heedless, one is hardly aware and only merely conscious of life, because one is too busy and heedlessly thinking, planning and worrying about life, so much so one totally misses out on life. One never really lives life because one is so preoccupied with one's thinking or thought processes. Hence the heedlessness, while constantly lost in thought most of the time and throughout the day. Heedful living allows us to be ever mindful of all our mental intentions behind all our actions, speech, and thought processes. This will enable us to cultivate the Noble Eightfold Path factors of right speech, right action, and right thought while following the advice of the Buddha to apply the appropriate four right efforts to avoid all evil, do good, and purify our mind. Heedfulness will prevent us from being heedless throughout the day so that the five hindrances of mind can be overcome and finally eradicated. Heedfulness will also enable us to trace the origination factors of the five hindrances of mind and three evil roots of greed, hatred, and delusion when they arise due to one's reaction of mind to sense experiences. By understanding how they arise via wisdom, one will be able to retrospectively reverse it. With heedfulness, we will be able to get the teachings to test and witness the Four Noble Truths and the law of dependent origination or 12 links occurring within our own form and mind with every moment of mental activity. Heedfulness will also enable us to see things as they are via our sati and samadhi, leading to the wisdom or panya. When one is heedful and mindful with inner awareness most of the time, one can see everything very clearly because the silent mind is not distracted by anything and it is not preoccupied with any heedless thinking, so it can see things as they are. It can be aware of thoughts, mental intentions, emotions, fear, etc. It can also be aware of all movements like the moving cars, all our physical actions and movements, etc. When mindfulness stabilizes, it will develop into a continuous flow. Then your seeing or awareness will be so different because it can be aware of all life's physical, mental, and nature's flow. The mind is just silent and aware, one with all phenomena without thought and always heedful. When one's mind is no longer preoccupied with all the heedless thinking, then there is great clarity and one can see very clearly. Just like the saying goes, truth is everywhere, why can't you see? For those who see, they always see. That is, when one is heedful, there is no thought. Only the senses are aware, so there is a lot of clarity. Everything is so clear. Without thoughts, there are no evil roots, i.e., no fear, no selfishness and emotional negativity, etc. So, develop the silent mind with inner awareness to be heedful always. For more details on heedfulness, please refer to the recorded talk. 1.4. How to overcome anger. Question. How to overcome anger? Brother Teo answered, when there is anger arising, just be aware, don't think. Then, silence your mind and sit back to relax. After a while, the agitation due to the steering of your mind into anger via your heedlessness and delusion will slow down. Then suddenly, you will become completely still. Then you will come to understand with joy clearly that if you don't react to stir the mind, then you are in your original natural state of mind, which is peaceful and calm before the stirring. The analogy of a pool of still water will help illustrate the point. If stirred by a falling branch or a stone thrown into it, the ripples will start to form. Wind and winter may also create waves just like fear and anger, appearing in a mind due to external stimulus.
Wind and weather, not winter.
Sorry. A mind that is heedful.
No, wind and weather.
Wind and weather may also create waves, just like fear and anger, appearing in a mind due to external stimulus. A mind that is heedful, wise, and constantly aware will not be stirred by any delusion, hence it will be very calm and peaceful always. As habitual tendencies develop over the years are difficult to eradicate or do away with, one will need to be heedful most of the time, throughout their daily life to stabilize the wisdom to deal with the strong habitual negative tendencies. When the spiritual faculty of samadhi and enlightenment factor of equanimity are there, then one will no longer be entangled. The mind that is transformed will not react anymore, and instead it will just flow and accord via wisdom. When you try to share and there is no condition, but then others want to argue and want to be right, then you will say yes, you are right, and let them be right. Because you don't understand, because they don't understand duality as yet, so just let things be. One must ask the question, right according to whom? And why must one defend oneself? It is because of the ego, self-delusion that conditions one's selfishness, emotional negativities and fear. Understand that things are just the way they are, no right, no wrong via seeing things as they are. Grasping and clinging to sense experiences via delusion is the cause of suffering. Only wisdom liberates and frees the mind, nothing else. With wisdom, one will be able to understand and appreciate life more and more.
Yes, very true. Huh? With wisdom, one will be able to understand life and appreciate life more and more. So when people argue with you, in order to resolve it amicably, you should actually politely say, yeah, I think you are right. So, did you lie? You didn't lie. You were right according to him. He wants to be right. Understand? So you didn't lie. Understand? Some people ask me, oh, but Teo, like that you lie. Why should I lie? Understand? Because he wants to be right. If I argue, then somebody has to be wrong. Understand? Then where does it go? And to you, right and wrong is just a convention of the existential world. Duality created by mind. Right according to who? You never inquire. If right according to him, I say, yes, you are right. I didn't lie, isn't it? True or not? Yes. Okay, continue.
3.1. This is what you are supposed to see in your meditation. Question 1. During meditation, I heard and perceived the branches of the tree, and I returned to Anapanasati, but then the thoughts regarding the falling branches arise. May I have your comments? Brother Teo answered, this is what you are supposed to see in your meditation, because there is this subtle grasping going on within the mind. Meditation is to uncover all these unhealthy delusion and unwholesome subtle attachments to what we perceive with every moment of our conscious sense experiences via our trained mind in heedfulness or silent inner awareness to understand what is going on in our own form and mind, how we are conditioned into thinking and reaction of mind, likes and dislikes, via our own our self-delusion
Self-delusion.
or Sakaya Ditti. Why do these thoughts arise and not other thoughts? And we also see clearly how we are conditioned into grasping and clinging, leading to the suffering caused by our own self-delusion, selfishness, and emotional negativities, the three evil roots, which are the roots of all evil. In this particular case, there is this curiosity of mind due to ignorance that conditions your grasping to what you perceived earlier, which is the falling branches. This is the attachment to one of our five aggregates of form and mind, and in this case, it is the perception aggregate. So the first of the dependent origination link of avijja panchaya sankhara, or dependent on ignorance sankhara, which is mental activities, comes to be. Hence the thought or thinking about the falling branches. This is witnessing how your mind functions, and via all these heedfulness training, you will also witness all of the Buddha's teaching, like the Four Noble Truths and the 12 links, etc., in your own life experiences via your daily mindfulness to understand who you are and what you are, including how you function as a human being, how the sense door consciousness and the steering of the mind comes to be, so as to develop the requisite wisdom and understanding, leading to the subsequent awakening via insight into the three characteristics of nature, anicca, dukkha, and anatta, especially the anatta universal characteristics. For further details, please listen to the recorded talk. 35th and 36th Heart Sutra classes. 1.1. To develop the heedfulness needed to cultivate the meditation. To develop the heedfulness needed to cultivate the meditation as taught by the Buddha, one must at least understand what is heedfulness and what is meditation as taught by the Buddha in order to start. It is just like you have a problem and you come to a meditation teacher and he said to you, just meditate and your problem will be resolved. Is this going to be useful if you do not even want to find out what your problem is? How can you start solving your problem when you do not know what your problem is? Similarly, with meditation, if you do not understand what meditation is, then how can you start developing it? Meditation and cultivation must be done with understanding so that one is not gullible.
So this one is important, remember. All of meditation must be done with understanding. Then you are not deluded. You will be able to develop it because you understand what is meditation. Otherwise you gullible. People give you method technique, then they call it vipassana. Or you greed for vipassana, because you heard vipassana can make you enlightened. So other type of meditation you don't want to learn. When I started teaching, you know what happened? A lot of people, they heard about me, then they ask, your teacher teach what? Relative teach what? Vipassana. No Vipassana, the one, walk away. I came across a lot of them, but I just laugh. Because people don't understand what they are looking for. So if they are gullible, they only want to hear the word vipassana. What you teach not important, no. As long as vipassana, he will attend. No. So if you want to be a good salesman to sell to these people, very easy. Label your teaching as vipassana. There are a lot of followers. But for me, I told my Kayamita, I said, no need. People are that very difficult to develop the understanding. And I said, because they have this desire for this type of words, and they don't know what vipassana is. Just now we went through what is vipassana. Vipassana got two parts. We. What is we? The three characteristics of nature. Okay. Pasana is to insight into it. Understand? So vipassana is whatever that allow you to insight into phenomena, to realize the three universal characteristics of anicca, dukkha, anatta is vipassana. So how can method and technique be vipassana? Without mindfulness awareness, how can you see things as they are? How can you insight into phenomena? So how to teach people like that? And the question that they ask is they want a method and a technique which you call vipassana. So people like that very difficult to teach, understand? Unless they are willing to listen. But most of these people are very difficult. Because finally they don't appear. Because they are attracted to only vipassana. And then the Kayamita said, oh, brother say method and technique don't define the meditation. Oh, he lucky scared. Straight away disappear. Huh? Don't teach vipassana. No method, no technique. Then how to meditate? There is a question. But they never inquire who meditate. Huh? Who meditate? The thought meditate is one thing. The Buddha say what? Heedfulness is a path to the develop. The form and mind must develop heedfulness, understand? And they don't want to understand this. They want vipassana, understand? So one day maybe I start to change. Vipassana, heedfulness, heedfulness is vipassana. Then they come. Heedfulness, I thought that one is apamada. So you got Dhammapada was 21. Heedfulness is the path to the deathless, the heedful never die. So is this vipassana? Then they look at you. Like that, I don't want to learn this. They walk away. Because they are not familiar with the term heedfulness. So a lot of people, because of their karmic past, they become gullible. Okay? Okay, continue. Maya.
As meditation is a very general word, it is important to understand the meditation as taught by the Buddha. The real meditation as taught by the Buddha is to develop the wisdom via insight into the three universal characteristics of nature, anicca, dukkha, and anatta, so as to be at peace with all situations wherever you are, termed upati viveka. Fully relax and be aware to develop the wisdom born of direct seeing. The thought must not interfere. There is just clarity of mind leading to the awakening or insight into the three universal characteristics of nature. The mind that is liberated is so free. It understands that all phenomena, whether physical, mental, or natures, are all empty, and they are all conditions arising or causal phenomena following nature's law. This is deep penetrative wisdom. In cultivation, we should thank those people who are not so friendly and constantly make things difficult for us, because they are the ones that can give us the conditions to test our cultivation. Hence, we should receive them with wholesomeness and wisdom, while accepting them as they are, then expressing our gratitude towards them. Then, great compassion will naturally arise in our mind. Do not perceive any situation with negativity, for the absence of negativity is good. So don't try to do good, because without wisdom, one can end up becoming just a good-hearted fool. The unenlightened ones are so heedless, chasing and clinging after so many things in life. They still grieve and worry about life, despite having so many things and possessions, for they lack contentment and wisdom to live life.
True or not? You can own a lot of things, have a lot of things, very wealthy, but you still complain, you still crave. So, without contentment and wisdom, you have problem. Understand? What is the highest wealth? If you don't have contentment, you forever compare and chase after more and more and more. Understand? So all this is very clear. Continue.
The first noble truth of dukkha that expounds so clearly the 8 realities of life and existence needs to be understood. Otherwise, they can really make human beings miserable.
True or not? Huh? Yeah. Okay.
Without understanding the true Dharma as taught by the Buddha, suffering will be the final result. So strive on with heedfulness and do not be heedless. Please listen to the recorded tape for more details. Part 3 Meditation 3.1 The same worrying and fearful thoughts keep coming back. Question 1. While cultivating mindfulness in daily life, I was able to be mindful most of the time when I'm going about living the normal life. But when confronted with work-related and personal problems, I find it very difficult to maintain that heedfulness, and I realize that the same worrying and fearful thoughts keep coming back to haunt me. How can I overcome this? Brother Diot answered, "This is a very good question. Yes, when there are no First Noble Truth realities to disturb us, cultivating heedfulness and mindfulness in daily life is fairly easy. The challenge is when one is confronted with the First Noble Truth realities of birth, old age, sickness and death, threatening separation from loved ones and one's prized possessions, etc., like work-related and personal health, career, relationship, and financial problems, etc. Can your mind still be peaceful and calm to cultivate the requisite heedfulness? This is most difficult, but it can still be done if one can develop the appropriate wisdom, confront them with right understanding. This is the reason why the Buddha constantly advised the bhikkhus to reflect on the 5 daily contemplations and to strive on with heedfulness to arise the much needed wisdom to overcome all these First Noble Truth realities. 3.2 The 5 daily contemplations are as follows. Number 1. Our body is of the nature to decay and grow old, for it has not gone beyond old age and decay. Number 2. Our body is of the nature to be diseased or sick, because it has not gone beyond diseases and sicknesses. Number 3. Our body is of the nature to die, for it has not gone beyond death. Number 4. All of our loved ones, wealth, property and other prized possessions, etc., which we hold on to so dearly, they will all one day separate from us, or we separate from them when our breath stops. Number 5. This is the great law of karma, and is also the first right view that we must develop or have to begin our cultivation. Each and every one of us, including all living beings, we are all born of our karma, heir to our karma, conditioned and supported by our karma, and we are what we are because of our karma. This is the great law of karma. Since karma is so important, we must all take care of our karma while avoiding all evil, do good and purify our minds, which is the advice of all Buddhas, to develop the strong karmic nature, to bring about the good life every time we come or choose to come. Once the wisdom born of one's cultivation and above constant reflections and contemplation has stabilized, then these projections of wrong thoughts to haunt you will not have power over you. Wrong thoughts are deluded thoughts that condition one's fear, worry, anxiety and sufferings, wire one's self-delusion, or sakaya ditti that condition one to cling on to the 5 aggregates as the I and the me, hence the heedlessness. So ultimately, it is wisdom that really frees and liberates one's mind. Job pressures, deadlines, and targets can be very stressful within the job and career environment, and if one has not developed the wisdom to confront them with understanding, it is not easy. The same goes for personal problems. So the Dharma understanding to confront all these First Noble Truth realities is very important, and this is the reason why the Buddha's final advice before his passing away is to strive on with heedfulness to develop the requisite wisdom to liberate one's mind. 3.3 Understanding the meditation as taught by the Buddha. Dhammapada verses 21, 22 and 23 confirm the importance of heedfulness in order to become enlightened. Heedfulness or apamada is equal to ever mindful sati plus to cultivate the Dharma and meditation as taught by the Buddha. So the first thing we must do when starting this meditation is to train our mind to be in sati or silent inner aware, to be ever mindful without thought most of the time. Then only use this trained mind in sati to meditate and cultivate the Dharma as taught by the Buddha. How do we train this mind to be mindful and aware most of the time? First, we must understand why we are most of the time heedless and not mindful, aware, and peaceful. According to the Buddha, it is because of the five mental hindrances that condition our heedless thinking, thereby steering our mind and hindering our mind from returning to its natural meditative state of inner peace and calmness before the stirring. The five mental hindrances of sensual desire, ill will, sloth and torpor, lethargic or sleepiness, restlessness or agitated mind due to fear, worry and anxiety, and lastly doubt. The five mental hindrances condition our heedless thinking, lack of peace and awareness, so we must reverse all these via cultivating the opposite five, which are the five spiritual faculties: Saddha or confidence in the Buddha and his teaching, Viriya or spiritual zeal, tenacity to cultivate heedfulness, Sati or mindfulness or awareness, Samadhi or collectiveness of mind, unwavering mind,
Collectedness.
Samadhi or collectedness of mind, unwavering mind, and Panya or wisdom. To cultivate these five spiritual faculties, the Buddha recommended the pre- and post-puja or devotional practice of paying respect or homage to the Buddha, Dharma and Sangha, and taking refuge in them, followed by the renewal of five precepts, chanting the various salutations to the Buddha, Dharma and Sangha, etc. The paying of respect and taking of refuge, followed by the chanting of various salutation, is to develop the faith or sadhan and viriya spiritual faculties. Then the paying of respect and mindful reverential salutation is to develop the composed mind to be mindful while paying respect to the Buddha. So do not underestimate the importance of puja in the cultivation process. When sati is developed, samadhi will come to be, and with sati and samadhi, one will be able to have the clarity of mind to see things as they are, without the interference of thoughts, via the sati in direct seeing, hence awakening to the truth leading to the wisdom. Then, to decondition the heedless thinking, we use the mind sweeping method as a skillful means to train our mind to just feel and relax, no more thinking, as we sweep the mind through our body. This will allow the mind to naturally relax and calm down on its own. We can also combine it with the radiating of metta or loving kindness to develop the inner well-being and wholesome state of mind to enhance our meditation. After the mind sweeping method and metta training, our mind should be more relaxed, calm and peaceful. Then we can use it to develop sati, the silent mind with inner awareness, via the anapanasati or awareness of the in and out breath, training as taught by the Buddha in his Kaya Nupassana practices. After that, when sati is already quite stable, we should move on to the mindfulness of the four postures, followed by the sati sampajana, or the daily mindfulness with clear comprehension, training as described in the Kaya Nupassana's 6 categories of practices. Once sati is established, use it to cultivate the 3 turnings of the 4 Noble Truths and the 4 foundations of mindfulness to complete the training. The real meditation as taught by the Buddha is the cultivation of the Noble Eightfold Path leading to the cessation of all suffering and enlightenment in the here and the now. Summary of cultivation. Number 1. Train the mind to be heedful via A. Puja or devotional practices. A daily religious routine will be useful. B. Mind sweeping method and metta. C. Anapanasati. D. Mindfulness of the 4 postures. And E. Mindfulness and clear comprehension of all actions and movements in the present movement, or daily mindfulness and clear comprehension training. 2. Once heedful, use the trained mind to cultivate the three turnings of the Four Noble Truths and the four foundations of mindfulness, or Satipatthana practices.
Okay, the next page maybe I will explain. You look at the diagram is to make it easier for you to understand. So in the center circle, you can see what is meditation as taught by the Buddha. So what is the definition? Wow, the word is so small. Can someone read? For you.
Definition: meditation is to decondition one's heedless thinking via training the mind to be heedful, then use it to insight into the three universal characteristics of nature. Cultivate wisdom to liberate the mind so that it is at peace with all life situations.
Good, thank you. Your eyesight 6'6", huh? Oh, your glasses. I also got glasses. Cannot see already, like Jiwei already. Slowly, the senses go into deteriorate. Okay. So the rest is like definition, you already defined. Huh? You can use any skillful means, whether mind sweeping method or what, to decondition the heedless thinking so that you are mindful, you are aware, and so then use it to cultivate. Then the next one is how.
How? To develop the five spiritual faculties with strong determination to overcome the five hindrances of mind.
So this one is obvious. This one can be puja, devotional practice, or reflect and contemplate how unique and special the Buddha is, and how wonderful and important is the teaching. It not only enable you to have the ability to become enlightened, but he is the wisest and the most virtuous living being ever to be born. So you will have faith in him, gratitude towards him. Then you will go all out to study what or cultivate what he has taught you, because that teaching is so special. It can bring about enlightenment in the here and the now, and liberate your mind so that you can be free of all suffering. And what are the five mental hindrances? That one we have gone through. Then what are the five spiritual faculties we have gone through? So final result of meditation is meditation is about
realizing the wisdom to be at peace while accepting the reality of the moment.
This one sentence only you can do. You really become very different. Can you do that? Yeah. Sadhu, very good. The rest all still for sure. I see. Read loudly. Meditation is about
realizing the wisdom to be at peace while
the wisdom to be
at peace.
at peace. We are
Accepting the reality.
the reality of the moment means what? Like the Buddha say, whatever that arise, there are causes and conditions. So if causes and conditions are really like that, how can it be otherwise? Understand or not? That's why it is going to happen this way. So if you want things your way, which is not nature's way, what happens? You suffer, isn't it? So ability to see things as they are and accept them for what they are, based on wisdom, is the way to free your mind. Means you must be able to be at peace with all situations. If the Buddha is only peaceful when he is meditating, then he is not the Buddha. Understand? That's why this meditation is so different. When you develop the understanding, you are at peace anywhere, any place, any situation, and any condition. Where to find such teaching? Understand? Not restricted to, this teaching. You got this problem, then count him. This problem, count him. Other problem cannot. Then there is not the wisdom. Wisdom apply to all. That's why wisdom is an understanding. It's not a knowledge. Knowledge is specific. Understand? Like you have scientific knowledge, you could be a scientist. You are a medical doctor, then Your knowledge is that few, understand? But other few you ask him, he don't understand. But wisdom is different, spiritual. It's not a knowledge. It's a wisdom, awakening, understanding. No more deluded. Means you understand life. You know the secret of life. You know how to live life, understand? Means you got no problem with life, isn't it? No matter what it is. So it's different from knowledge. Knowledge cannot free your mind. Knowledge maybe make you smarter, more intelligent, more arrogant, ego strong. So all this, when you go through life, when you have enough exposure, you will understand. Okay? Then the next one is a technique. These are skillful means. Just now we already listed puja and all those things. So turn to the page with all the big words. That one easy to read. Puja or devotional practice means a daily religious routine will be useful. When you do puja, you will not only perform the 10 rituals action, you at the same time develop the faith, the saddha, that affinity with the great being, triple gem and all those things. Do you realize or not? Then you renew your precept to avoid all evil, chant the salutation to the Buddha, Dhamma and the Sangha, so that you understand who the Buddha is, the 9 great virtues, and you understand what the Dhamma is. Otherwise, you don't know how to cultivate. You go and meditate. They say, oh, you vajnana, you are enlightened already. But you didn't check against the salutation of the Sangha. Dhamma. Understand or not? Swakato Bhagavata Dhammo. Well expounded is the Dhamma by the Buddha. Then what is the characteristics of this Dhamma? Whether it is Tandikiko or not, Akaliko or not, Ehipasiko or not, Pacetang, Veditabo, Venohiti. Understand? So, Opanaiko also another one, leading inward to the heart, can be realized by the voice. The most distinct one is Sandhiko and Akaliko, especially Akaliko, beyond thought, beyond mind. So you check. If what you meditate on is thought-based, how can it go beyond thought, beyond mind? Then how can that be the Dhamma as proclaimed and taught by the Buddha? So very clear, right? Then the second one, mind sweeping method, combined with metta. That one is to decondition your heedless thinking, where you sweep your mind by feeling the forehead, relax, then sweep down to facial muscle, relax. Means feel any tension, any stress within, relax into it, understand not? Or any tightness also relax into it. Then you move on to your neck, shoulder, back to shoulder, then heart, then stomach, abdomen, leg, everything. Then in between, you combine in metta. Before you do the facial muscle, you reflect on this. Radiate a radiant smile while standing in front of the mirror. So when you can radiate a radiant smile means what? Huh? You are relaxed and happy, isn't it? You got joy. Otherwise, how to smile? So when you smile, you should relax, happy. So that one will enable you to relax easier. Your facial muscle also, when you smile, where got tightness, where got stress, when you are unhappy, when things don't go away, then your facial expression is bin chao chao. You know what is that? Your face, bu song. So all these are obvious. When you are not happy, there is this stress, unhappiness, and it's reflected in you. So all this can be useful. That's why it's called skillful means. Then the third one is anapanasati. Okay, you can do it well. Sati will come. Then your mind will enter sati. Then mindfulness of the four posture, daily mindfulness. Then mindfulness and clear comprehension of all action and movement in the present moment. Or daily mindfulness with clear comprehension. So these are all obvious. So once heedful, use the trained mind to cultivate the meditation as taught by the Buddha, which is the three turnings of the Four Noble Truths, including the Noble Eightfold Path. And finally, when you have the understanding already, after overcoming covetous and greed, you cultivate the four foundation of mindfulness, or the Satipatthana practice. Okay? So all the technique is to train your mind to be heedful, to develop the first rectangle is what? To insight into the three universal characteristics of anicca, dukkha, and anatta, to realize the unreality of the five aggregate of form and mind, so that you are no longer deluded, so that the form and mind projecting into the phenomenal world of consciousness is clearly understood. Then it cannot delude you. Understand? It loses its power to delude you into attachment, craving, clinging, conditioning your suffering. So all this is obvious when you have the sati or mindfulness and heedfulness. Then the next one is via puja is to develop the five spiritual faculty to overcome the mental hindrance. Then my sweeping method is to decondition the heedless thinking through feeling and relaxing without thought. Then how to develop heedfulness after that? Cultivate kayanupasana via anapanasati, mindfulness of four posture, and sati sampajana, adesana. This is what the Buddha taught under kayanupasana. Okay, Maya, next.
37 Heart Sutra class 1.1 Understanding the three conditions for Bharatiya's Dharma sharing. In order not to arise any unnecessary misunderstanding or karmic consequences, Bharatiya had been reluctant to share his Dharma understanding until about 9 years ago, when he was approached 3 times by a very sincere sister of the Dharma, asking him to share his rather good understanding of the Dharma. Brother Dio then contemplated and finally agreed to share the Dharma, but with the following 3 conditions. 1. Call it a Dharma sharing instead of a Dharma talk, because a talk could be like a one-way traffic, not offering any chance of having a fair discussion to clarify matters from the audience. Also, sharing means no authority over one another, and as Dharma friends, we are here to share our understanding of the Dharma with mutual respect for each other's cultivation, i.e., I respect you for what you are, and hopefully you can also respect me for what I am. Number 2, no right and no wrong. If it is beneficial to you, use it. If it is not, have an open mind, because we are not here to argue about right and wrong. Right and wrong is just a relative measurement or opinion as expressed by someone according to their views and opinions, and it is not something absolute. As such, it is not beneficial at all. If we are not careful, it may lead to unnecessary arguments and misunderstandings too. Number 3, to have an open mind and to listen attentively and to take and make use of whatever that is useful and beneficial to progress along the path of Dharma. Also, do not quote me, because it can be very dangerous. If you quote me what I said without understanding what I meant, it can get both of us into unnecessary trouble.
Yeah? True or not?
True.
So this is the reason why after 1989 until 2004, I didn't do anything. There is no condition. Until Yun Chan came along, she requested 3 times. I said, never mind, no. I said, let things be. When causes and conditions arise, maybe it will happen. Then after I reject the 3rd time, you know what happened? Suddenly inside tell me, the nature, hey, about time you come out already, your causes and conditions are there. Then I say, how can? What I understand is the opposite of what they do, understand or not? Everything I understand and teach is almost 100% the opposite of what the Buddhist community is cultivating and doing. Then inside tell me, you set condition lah. Then I say, oh, like that, okay. Then I came out with this understanding. You know what is authority or not? Huh? Krishnamurti always talk about authority. Right? If you call me like master or guru or what, then there is authority over you, understand or not? Your teacher, you can challenge him or not? You cannot. But he's your teacher, understand? So there is authority on you. Then you're not sure also, you dare not speak out. But if I say Dhamma friends, okay, we are Dhamma friends, then we share, Dhamma sharing. No authority, then you dare to question me. That's why in the early day, they are very daring. No? But still, I don't think it's like that. In the first 1-2 years, then they come and question me, challenge me. Wow, lucky at that time. It got bulletproof. Understand? Otherwise, bullet hole. So because of that, I came up with this. Then the second one is the best one. No right, no wrong. So don't argue. Right and wrong bring about what? Conflict, argument, misunderstanding. Then sikam jeng. You know, Hokkien say sikam jeng. What is English?
Destroys the relationship.
Spoil the relationship. Means your relationship 朋友都不安做 understand? Because you hold the unhappiness in you already. How can you say that? How can you say I wrong? When somebody is wrong, means what? Somebody is right. When there is no right, no wrong, no need to argue. Understand? I respect you for what you are. You respect me. We are here to share understanding. Understand? So fair enough. Will this avoid problem?
Yes.
So far so good. Almost 19 years already. Nobody come and challenge me and fight with me and want to do things to me. Not sure. So next year is what? 20th anniversary. So gathering of Kayamita, I leave it to you. Don't want to celebrate also can. Understand? 20 years already, not enough. Someone want to celebrate and ask me to continue. Like the Buddha, the body is like already a worn out Puloka. Ananda say, hey, please don't go. Stay on. So Buddha teach for 45 years now. But I cannot because I didn't start at age 35. I start 16 years later. 89 to 04. 15 years later. So minus 15.
50 years old.
35. Means supposed to be another 10 years. Correct? Another 10 years. So after that and now, sort of.
10 more years.
Because the Buddha knew, stay so long for what? What you need to know already given to you, understand? You someone want him to be around, and you don't want to strike out with him. Everything he say is like here in, here out. So how? You have to understand and develop the faith, the sincerity, and the perseverance. Just go, understand now. Why doubt? If you still doubt, then you continue to come back, understand? If you doubt this teaching, then learn other teaching, understand? If you choose to be heedless, continue to roam in samsara, understand? Got a lot of friends there, no? Like my classmate, when the Christian came to them, try to convert and all things. Then somebody asked, he said, what you have in heaven? He said, utopia, everything. No mahjong, no wise, no wine, no beer, nothing. My kaki all in hell. I go heaven for what? Never tell you that. Until I tell you, I pity those ladies, the Christian. They all say, you wait for eternal hell. Like you say, God also cannot help you. Understand? So when you meet people like that, how susah. But luckily I got these 3 conditions: open mind, so no need to argue. So don't have this type of question. Don't come and ask me, Brother Leo, Nibbana got mahjong or not? Nibbana got wine. My kaki all can realize Nibbana or not? Oh, you ask me like that, I tell you, I think maybe got chance, but Tan Jing Gu. Tan and Tan Jing Gu. So all this is, I mean, joke aside, let you develop the understanding. So sometimes you don't have all this, you will get into trouble. Understand? So this is why you have the understanding. You will be able to come out with this condition and understanding. Then you won't get into trouble. Okay? So we stop here. 6 o'clock already. I think for those who's supposed to go for dinner, you can go. How come I didn't hear the alarm? Went off already or not?
Now.
Oh, now let me hear again. Okay.
What time come back?
7 o'clock lah.
Okay.
7 o'clock lah, more time.
Thank you.
Unless you're all very diligent, want to come back 6:40, I will be here. Okay? So you want to come back early, come, but no class.
Okay.
You can talk. Understand? You want something to discuss, ask, shy, don't want to let other people know, you come. Okay? So 6:40 is for those diligent ones.
No recording lah, 6:40.
No need recording.
Okay.
You want to record, use your handphone.
Yesterday, you are so good. We repeated.
Yeah, maybe. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Can.
So okay, pay respect there.
Alright.
Sadhu.
Sadhu.
See, Jin how now improve already. Spiritual wealth, on the road, no need money, just rejoice also, don't know how to receive it.